welcome to Pressing Matters. I'm your host, Jamal Radio Raheem. Now, Pressing Matters is a show about vinyl records. Whether I'm interviewing somebody, going to a record store, just yapping about records, that's what you're going to get on this show. Now, this is a special episode. This is my 500 vinyl episode. Now, I got a little bit over 500 vinyls in my collection, and I got some boxes that I ain't even open. So I think like 5 boxes that ain't open. So I think my total is actually 511 at this point. But I'm going to show y'all my whole collection. I'm also going to answer some questions that I had some of my mutuals on TikTok ask me, and I'm going to answer them on this episode. It's a lot of questions, but we're going to get right into it. First off, though, I'm going to show y'all the whole collection. So enjoy the music and enjoy the little flip through of all of my vinyl. so now I'm going to answer the questions that my mutuals on TikTok sent me. First of all, I want to thank everybody who sent a question. Now, some of the questions I'm not going to answer because the answers are going to be repetitive, like they're going to be the same answers as some of the other questions. But I still want to thank people who took time out of the day to write a question. Now, these questions, some of them are hard for me to answer. Some of them my answer would change the next day. They're not going to be the same as today. So in the moment, these are my answers for some of these questions because it is impossible. Yeah. So again, though, thank you to everybody who asked a question. Now let's just get right into the questions. Which record was my first record? This is the question from the boy Diablo Jones. Shout out to him. And that is Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest. Now, this is also my favorite album of all time. I was gifted this record. This record is very special to me because it is my first record and my favorite record. So, Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest. I'm going to get this album framed one day. I love this album. I'm a big fan of Tribe. So this is the first record that I got. And I got it as a gift. I don't remember the first record that I bought with my actual money. But this is the first record that I got. So yeah. Have you played all 500 records? This question is from Danny. First of all, shout out to Danny. She was one of the first people to come on Pressing Matters. And I aspired to be as vulnerable as she is on the internet. I honestly, I thought I was an open book. Until I met Danny, she is so vulnerable. And that is something that I hope to one day be that vulnerable. But to answer her question, no, I have not played all 500 records. I played probably, though, like 95% of them. And the main reason is when I get a record, I want to make sure the record is good. So usually I play the record to make sure it's good. Some of the records I haven't opened because I have multiple copies of, like The Cool by Lupe Fiasco. I have 2 copies, so one of the copies I never played. I have 3 copies of Low End Theory, so one of them I've never played. I got another copy of Sylvan LaCue. Apologies in advance. I got a Nat King Cole album that I never played. My new records that I just got, they haven't got played, but majority of the time I play the records because mainly I want to make sure the record works. There have been times that I bought a record and I waited too long and then I played a record and then the record is like doesn't work and it's scratched up or whatever. They sent the wrong copy. So I played 95% of my records for that reason. But no, I have not played all of the records. Record you find yourself playing way more than the rest of them? And this question is from QC Spinners. It's funny that this question came up because I was literally about to play this album. Leanne LaHave's self-titled album. I love this album. This is my Sunday comfort album. When I'm about to go meal prep, when I'm about to go clean, when I'm about to do anything, and I need a record to put on, I don't know what to put on, I play this album. Fantastic. I found her over the pandemic when we couldn't do nothing, and she's probably one of my favorite artists that I found during the pandemic. She's probably one of my favorite artists in general. Love her voice. I think she's fantastic. I need to see her live. Like Bittersweet, Read My Mind, Can't Fight, Please Don't Make Me Cry have never left my rotation since the moment I heard this album. Shout out to her, man. But yeah, this album gets a lot of spin. I'm probably going to buy another copy because I played this album so much that eventually, we going to have to frame this hoe. So, Leanne LaHave's self-titled album. If you haven't heard this album, go listen. It is great. It is great. I love it. What's your most expensive album? And this question's from Martine. I don't know if she meant expensive like how much I paid for it or expensive in value. So I answer both. In value, I think it is Chromacopia and also The Minstrel Show by Lil Brother. I think those albums are pretty expensive if like I were to resell them. I think I can get a pretty good penny for them. So I think those are my most expensive by value. The most I paid for an album is definitely Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. I just got that album. Like I haven't even opened the box yet. It just came in. So I think that is my most expensive album that I paid for. And I don't think there will be another album that I ain't paying that price for. Because it was a good penny. What records in your collection were difficult to obtain? And this question is from Eddie. Um, there are a few records that are difficult for me to obtain, mostly because I hate buying online. So in person, I would say Sound of Revenge by Chameleonaire. That album was so hard to find in person. And I found it on my birthday in San Diego. Well, I actually didn't find it. It was found for me while we were digging through the crates in San Diego on my birthday. So yeah, Sound of Revenge by Chameleonaire, and it's not even the one with like the album cover. It's like the one that Universal Records sent out, I guess, to like DJs or something like that. I don't know. It has every song on it, so I'm not mad at it. Um, I got that album. I was geeked. Because if anybody who knows me knows, Chameleonaire is my favorite rapper. So shout out to Koopa. Shout out to Eddie for answering that question or asking that question. Dream setup for your records. And this question is from Real Black American Princess. This is a really good question. And I'm going to try my best not to yap for like 20 minutes. I have a dream setup that I want for all of my records. Like, I want a room literally dedicated to the records, like just to records, to music, to all of that. You know, I love music, and that's something that is I can't survive without music. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather die than not have music. Like, and I mean that. So my setup, I would want it to be kind of set up like a record store. You know what I'm saying? Like I would literally call the room Radio Raheem Records. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a vision. I would buy the little plaque or whatever, the little lights, and it would say Radio Raheem Records. You know what I'm saying? I would have a vinyl wall that I would switch out every single month, like kind of like how I have it here, but it would be bigger because the space would be bigger, and I would switch it out every single month. Like each month would have a theme. So one month it will be blue, one month it will be 80s R&B, one month it will be 90s hip hop, one month it's gonna be Kendrick Lamar. The themes will just change. Like I would have the wall, I would have that. I would have my records kind of set up like how you go to a record store. So I would have the shelves that you normally see at a record store, and it would be like R&B, and then it would have hip hop, then it would have jazz, and then it would have like the ones that go into like other categories, like the albums that are like everything, like a K Tronada. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what genre to put K Tronada. I would call them no genres, or like the Kid Cudi genre, like the genre. I don't know where to put that stuff. And I would have it by alphabets, and I would have the name, the letters. So it'll be A, B, C, D. I have all of that. And if I have enough of one person, I might label B like Beyonce, Bruno Mars. You know, like artists that I have multiple albums for, I would probably have, they would have their own little section. um, I would have posters all on the wall, like the vinyl posters that come inside the records and stuff like that. I would have them hanging all over the room. I would have like all type of posters on the wall. I would have lyrics all on the wall. The wall would not be empty. There would be CDs on the wall. I would have movies in there. The movies would also have a stand for the movies. There would be a stand for all my CDs. Like it would literally be like a record store in there. You know what I mean? And I want like lights, like crazy lights to be going on that you could change the color of the lights depending on my mood. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably have a TV in there. I'll probably have my record player, CD player. I will probably buy out a boom box. I would have everything in there. You know what I'm saying? I would have all of my music books in there. So like my books that are about hip hop, autobiography books, the biography books, all of that will be in the space. We will have memorabilia in this space, like my concert tickets, because I keep all of my concert tickets, even though they don't really have concert tickets that are physical anymore. Everything's so online, and that bothers me so much. Ugh. I would have just random pictures of people that I look up to. Well, I don't want to say look up to, but like I respect their art. So you have like a Marvin Gaye, uh, Tupac, Beyonce, Anita Baker, Whitney Houston. I would have all of these people on the wall, like posters all around. Doom will be on there, Cole, Kendrick, Drake, what I'm saying, the big three, Crit, I'm just naming people. But like I will have the room that is dedicated to it. It would be a big ass room. It would be like a record store. It would be like a record store. That is my dream setup. Hopefully, I didn't talk too long, but I have thought about this. I literally have followed pages on like TikTok because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to have my Funko Pops like on display and stuff like that. Only the music ones though. The rest of the ones can go anywhere around the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I would want this space to be so music, like so music. I'll probably have like a little mini fridge full of water and stuff like that. But this space would be it would be like a record store, and it would be dope as hell, man. I would have a sign that says open, closed. Like I'm yapping, but yeah, that's just how my setup will be. Hopefully, I was able to answer your question. It wasn't rambling. I feel like I was rambling though. Do you have collectible insurance for them? This is from Kiki. I actually don't, and I probably should get insurance on not only just my records but like my CDs too, because I collect CDs and DVDs. I probably should do that. I live in California where fires be happening all the time. I probably should do that, and it's just a good investment. I honestly never thought to get insurance until this question. I probably should get insurance on my records. I need to look into that. Great question though, because I need records with sentimental value. I have a lot of them. I'll give 5 because there's a lot that have some sentimental values. The first one is "The Bizarre Ride to the Far Side." Has my favorite song of all time, which is "Passing Me By." So that album has a special place to me because of that song. I think that song is perfect. I think that song is one of the greatest songs, not just hip hop song, of all time. Love that song. Um, Low End Theory by Tribe, first album, favorite album. So that has a special place in my heart. They got the whole journey started. You feel me? I didn't think I would have this many records when I got that record, but nonetheless, Low End Theory by Tribe, Volume 2 by Slum Village. I could not find this album. I couldn't find this album, and when I did find the album, it was for a price that I wasn't willing to pay online, and I gave up hope on ever finding this album. I done seen this album in person a lot more now, but I could not find this album, and I was gifted the album by my ex, so shout out to her. I could not find the album. She even went to the record store with me, couldn't find the album. We could not find the album. She got the album. I don't know where she found it. She found it. She got it, and I was geeked. So, Volume 2, Slump Village, Confessions by Usher, another record that I was trying to find for the longest, and when I eventually found it, I was geeked. Now you see the record everywhere, but I couldn't find it. And Confessions, like that's like my 8th grade year. There's memories attached to that. The album is also just phenomenal. So Confessions, Usher, and the last one I'm gonna give, Donuts by Jay Dilla. Donuts by Jay Dilla, because that album seems like it's like a message to us, the fans. It's like him saying goodbye to us, and you add that with like he passed away, like that's the last thing we got from him while he was alive, and all that type of stuff. That makes the album way more special. Yeah, those are the 5 I'm gonna give because I would keep going on and start rambling. So, Bizarre Ride to the Far Side, Low End Theory, Fantastic, Volume 2 by Slum Village, Confessions by Usher, and Donuts by the late great Jay Dilla. Thanks for the question, Ronald. What's one album you wish you could hear again for the first time on vinyl or in general? Is by Kyla Capri. Um, ooh, hmm. I pulled 3 albums, and I was seeing which one I want to actually talk about. And I'm gonna go with Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox because this album, it seemed like so organic. You know, I'm like we're getting the skits from Instagram lives, and we're getting to see her personality and all that type of stuff, man. Like hearing the project put together, and especially for somebody like me, I was anticipating this project for a very long time. From the moment she signed to Dreamville, and after we got the EP, I was like really ecstatic for like what we were going to get from her. So definitely Shea Butter Baby. It just seems so organic, so raw, vocals on point. Ari Lennox, fine as can be. Um, I don't know what that had to do with me hearing the album for the first time, but I call it what it is. She fine. So Shea Butter Baby though, like I remember hearing like New Apartment, Broke, like she's talking about stuff that you go through in your 20s and stuff like that. So yeah, this album is fantastic, man. Fantastic. That would be the album that I would love to hear again for the first time. For sure, for sure.
All right, so Danny asked me my organization system that I use. I have a weird one. So I have 2 furnitures right here. These are the records that I listen to. So it's organized by genre. So you got like the R&B / pop, because I don't really separate those two. And it's alphabetical at the, like, for the beginning of it. So you got Leah, Ari Lennox, Beyonce, Jasmine Sullivan, all them people, Sade, Stevie. But then you got like the jazz albums that I got, because I don't have too many. I have like a couple Miles Davis albums. I have Samara Joy. Some of those albums, Dinner Party. Then I have I don't know what genre to put them in, like K Tronada, the Terrence Martin Drones album, Tame Impala. I guess he's more alternative or whatever. Then you got hip hop to finish this out, and then that is all hip hop on that section right there. So that's what you get on this storage. All right, so here's my other storage. Now this one is albums I don't listen to that often. I like these albums, but I just don't listen to them that often. Like I have to be in a certain mood. So on the top, all of my hip hop albums. So like sometimes I want to listen to Finally Famous by Big Sean. Sometimes I want to listen to Crime Mob, you know what I'm saying? It depends on the mood that I'm in, but it's all hip hop albums on here. Then you got like the greatest hits albums and also hip hop singles. And then you have all of my soundtracks. So no matter the genre, you got Black Panther, you got Dreamgirls, Murder Was the Case, Car Wash, like Saturday Night Fever. You got all of the soundtracks on that one. Then on the bottom, it's all of the R&B pop albums that I don't listen to that often. Like I have to be in a certain mood. Like sometimes I'm not in the mood to hear like Bryson Tiller. I don't know why I just randomly said his name. Like I have to be in the mood for that album in particular. The singles, the greatest hits album, all that type of stuff. And then they got like country, the few country albums I got, a few rock albums I got, and all that type of stuff. They're on here too. So this is what you have on here. These are just albums I don't listen to that often. On the top, you have like CDs, all of Outkast's CDs, all of J. Cole's CDs, and all of Kendrick CDs. And then behind them, there's more CDs. And then the CD rack. These aren't by genre, mind you. They're just alphabetical. So you have like Adele, Ashanti, Big Boy, Bobby Caldwell. Like you got some heavy hitters on here. You got her. Jamie Foxx is Unpredictable. I love that goddamn album. You just some stuff, some slight work. And then here are the packages that I need to open, and also some vinyl that I got from my most recent trip in Portland. But yeah, that's my setup. I hope I did a decent job of explaining my setup. If not, just lie and tell me I did. But yeah.
Oldest press record. This question was from Hydro to MC. The oldest press record that I have in my collection is Pearl Bailey, and it's the one and only Pearl Bailey Sings. Actually, this album belonged to my ex. For some reason, she wanted this album when we went to the record store together, even though she didn't have a record player and she never played records on my record player. But she wanted the album. We got the album. I don't think she's ever even spent the album, to be honest. She probably don't even remember me buying it for her. She wanted the album. We got the album, but that's the oldest record in my collection. I think I've only played the album once, but yeah. So the oldest record I got is Pearl Bailey, the one and only Pearl Bailey. Records do you have signed in your collection, and have you done it in person? Get it signed in person. And this question is from Jordan. This might be a little disappointing. I only have one album that is signed, and that is Doechie's Alligator Bites Never Heal. And that's a very recent one. And I did not get it signed in person. I don't really care to get records signed. It's cool, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm never gonna be that person to bring like an album to the concert or anything like that. Like I might go to a signing one day if I just happen to have free time and I'm in the city or something like that. But I don't really care to get records signed. I don't know if that's a little disappointing or not the answer that you wanted. But yeah, I only got one, and it's Doechie's Alligator Bites Never Heal. So, last question. If you could only take 5 albums with you for the rest of your life, which ones and why? And the question is from Danny. This is funny because I ask everybody who go on the show this question. Basically, I say Desert Island. But this is a difficult question. If you ask me next week, my answers will probably all be different. Besides one album, there's only one album that is consistently going to be there. But let me give y'all the album. I'm going to explain the reasoning and everything like that too. The first one, Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest. This is my favorite album of all time. I've probably said it a million times. This album is when I really started to like, not just hip hop, but music in general. When I started like to really, really like fall in love. You know, I've always liked music, but I would say like, and as a teenager, when I heard this album and paid attention to it, is when I fell in love with music. I found jazz artists from it. I paid attention to the samples, the lyricism. I was paying attention to everything from this album, and it's special to me. Like this album is so special to me. Like y'all just don't understand. I have 3 copies of this album. I have this copy that I was gifted. I got a copy I bought for myself, and I got another one that I was gifted. Shout out to Mimi. She's the one who gave me that one. But like, I love this album. Like, it's my favorite album. It's so good to me. Like, my favorite song changes every time I hear it. Last time I heard it, Vibes and Stuff was my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I used to say jazz. We got the jazz is my favorite. But if I'm being real, if somebody say, what's your favorite off Low End Theory? It changes every time I hear it. That's how phenomenal this album is. Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Production is fantastic. Lyricism, like you saw improvement from both Fife and Q-Tip. Great album, man. Low End Theory, I love this album. This album will always be with me. You know, if I lost my whole collection, like if some disaster happened and I had to start my collection over again, first album I'm buying is Low End Theory. That's the first album I'm buying. Next album, this is a bootleg, but I don't care. Section 80 by Kendrick Lamar. Um, this album, it first of all, it's my favorite Kendrick album. Like, if I'm gonna take a Kendrick album, it's not gonna be To Pimp a Butterfly, it's not gonna be Damn or Good Kid, Mad City, not GNX, not Mr. Morale. It's this bad boy right here. Like, it got my favorite Kendrick song. The subject matter like that he's talking about in here is so relevant today. It's kind of crazy. Like the war on drugs that like the people who were born in the 80s went through, the war on black people. Like this is talking about people who grew up in Section 8, like people who grew up in poverty. Um, it's so relevant today. It also is hitting on subject matters that impacted the way I grew up, impacted the way a lot of people grew up. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's also crazy because I'm doing a show called Open Mic, and I'm doing a track by track breakdown of this album and how relevant some of the stuff is to what we are currently going through in the current political climate under that devil Donald Trump is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. It's kind of crazy. Um, my hatred for Ronald Reagan has only got stronger. Um, every time I listen to it, it gets stronger. To be honest, but Section 80 by Kendrick is an album I'm taking with me for sure. For sure. Um, next album, A Seat at the Table, Solange. Talk about a black on black album. A Seat at the Table, Solange. From the writing on this album to the production on this album to masterpiece like skits on this album is just phenomenal. From Don't Touch My Hair to Fubu, Cranes in the Sky, like Weary, Mad. Like, this album is black as hell, man. Black as hell. This is one of my favorite albums ever. This is one of my favorite albums ever. Like, I get mad when I see rankings of albums and they either don't have this album or have this album in like the hundreds and stuff like that. This is one of the greatest albums ever. Ever. 2016 has so much great music. This might have been the best album of that year. And I know what came out in that year. So that's a big ass statement I'm saying. And I stand on all 10. A Seat at the Table by Solange. Definitely coming with me, man. Fubu on here, like, come on. And then you got some great features. You got BJ the Chicago Kid. You got Wayne. Like, come on, man. Come on, Kalia. Come on. Like, A Seat at the Table is definitely coming with me, man. Black. It's a blackity black album. These next two albums, uh, Leon LaHave's self-titled album. I talked about this album earlier. This is a comfort album for me. This is my if I'm meal prepping, if I'm cleaning, if I don't know what I'm gonna listen to. This album when it no matter how I'm feeling, I can listen to this album. You know what I mean? Like when I'm going through something emotionally, I put this album on. It's just probably my most spent record since I purchased this album. I think my actually most spent record is Southern Playalistic by Outkast. But this is since I bought this album, I've probably spent this album more than anything. I play it damn near every Sunday that I'm home. It is fantastic, you know what I'm saying? Her voice is amazing. She's a talent, you know. This album is special to me, man. Very, very special. I love this album. Like, I'm not doing it justice by just the way I'm talking. Like, go listen to it. Go listen to it. If you're going through like a rough patch in your relationship, you getting over a breakup, or whatever you going through, put this album on. You're welcome. And the last album, um, Apologies in Advance by Sylvan LeCue. Um, this album is like, for me, mentally, it's very important. It's like a therapy session. A lot of the stuff that he's talking about on this album too is something like I was going through. We all go through, like talking about being the best version of yourself, always being in your head with head games, empathy. That's something that we need more as a society as a whole. I think if we have more empathy for others, we would be in a better place. We wouldn't have some of the bullshit we have going on. Um, Selfish. Like for me, I feel like at times I'm not selfish enough, and I be feeling guilty. Um, like when I am selfish and like put myself first sometimes, and yeah, being grateful for stuff, like being a product of your environment. Um, him basically saying it's okay to not be perfect, like your imperfections are perfect. You know that makes you you. And this album is hitting on so much subject matter. It is literally like a therapy session. And like the moment it came out at the right time for me. I was going through some stuff, getting out of a relationship, getting in another relationship, parents split. Like there was a lot going on. Me like losing confidence, and I'm somebody who has extreme confidence, being in my head, like struggling with a lot of stuff that I wasn't telling people, and then to hear an artist like put it on an album, it's kind of crazy. And then like this album also like it has like step one, um, apologies in advance. Step two, getting uncomfortable. Step three and four, like becoming yourself, you know. Step five and six, distance, ally. Step seven, what we deserve. Like step eight and nine, nature versus nurture. Like it is hitting on some shit. And this album is very special to me. Like I got 2 copies of this album. Um, I remember seeing him perform this album. I went to his first sold out show, I think, in LA. Man was emotional, got me emotional, you know, almost let a thug tear come out. You know what I'm saying? Like I am a big fan of his. I know he has health problems that he's currently dealing with, but this album is special to me, man. It is so special to me because when I hear it, I hear about what I was going through at that time. What I still go through, like I'm human. You know what I'm saying? Like there's songs on here that like I will play on repeat. You know, I would get the needle and keep putting it down and repeat the song over and over. Like sometimes I have to remind myself to be more selfish. Sometimes I have to remind myself to be grateful for everything I got. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we take for granted what we got. I am somebody who I have my own place. I could afford to eat. I could afford to travel. And no, I don't make the most money that I would love to make in the world. And I feel like I am underpaid. But like when you look at all the things, I ain't got no health problems. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this album. But let me show you the 5 albums that I'm gonna take because I was about to get into some shit that I don't need to get into. Apologies in advance. Leanne LaHave, self-titled. A Seat at the Table by Solange. Fantastic album. My gosh. Section 80 by Kendrick. And my favorite album of all time, Low End Theory. This has been Pressing Matters. I've been your boy Jamal Radio Raheem. Thank y'all for watching. Thanks for the questions. Until next time, peace.